spooky story lovers, and welcome back to Spooky Kids World, where every tale is a little bit mysterious, but always safe and fun. Are you ready for tonight's adventure? Because this one is about a mirror. A mirror that didn't quite follow the rules. Picture a quiet, normal house, just like any you'd see on any street in America. Down a long, hushed hallway, there's a bathroom. Inside, hanging over the sink, is an old mirror with a heavy, carved frame. It's seen a lot of faces over the years. Our story starts late one night. The house is asleep, and only a tiny nightlight casts long, dancing shadows on the walls. In one of the bedrooms, a child named Alex, who was about 9 years old, was fast asleep. Alex was brave as any kid could be, but also had a supersized imagination that sometimes made things feel a little spooky. One thing Alex loved to do was make funny faces in the mirror, checking how a silly grin or a surprised gasp looked. Suddenly, Alex's eyes popped open. Thirst. A midnight trip to the kitchen for a glass of water was needed. Tiptoeing out of the bedroom, Alex moved silently down the hallway, past the closed doors of their parents' room. As Alex passed the bathroom, something felt
off.
The open doorway was a patch of deeper darkness.
And the mirror inside seemed to suck in what little light there was, looking like a pool of black ink. A shiver ran down Alex's spine.
It felt like someone was watching. Curiosity won over fear. Alex took a few hesitant steps into the bathroom. The air was cold. Reaching for the light switch, Alex flipped it on. The old bulb flickered to life, buzzing softly. Alex stood in front of the sink and looked into the mirror. There it was, the reflection. Same messy hair, same pajamas, same serious expression. Everything looked perfectly normal.
Alex breathed a little sigh of relief.
Maybe it was just the shadows playing tricks.
But then, something impossible happened.
While Alex's face in the real world was still serious and a little sleepy, the face in the mirror smiled. It wasn't a big smile, just a small, sly curve of the lips.
Alex's heart jumped into their throat.
Alex blinked, thinking their eyes were playing tricks. But the reflection didn't blink back.
Its eyes stayed wide open, staring right at Alex. Then, slowly, the reflection tilted its head to the side, a gesture Alex wasn't making.
The smile on its face grew wider, showing teeth that seemed just a little too sharp. At that exact moment, the bathroom light began to flicker wildly, plunging the room into strobing flashes of light and darkness. And in the silent house, a sound emerged, a soft, airy whisper that seemed to come directly from the mirror itself. It was a faint, scratchy sound, like leaves rustling on pavement. A cold dread washed over Alex.
A forgotten memory surfaced, an old spooky warning a grandparent had once shared as a silly campfire story.
Whatever you do, the voice in Alex's memory said. Never, ever smiled back at a mirror at night? The story came rushing back in terrifying detail. The legend said that some old mirrors were gateways. They held the reflections of children who had made a terrible mistake. These weren't just reflections. They were echoes, trapped inside the glass forever. And what was the mistake they made? They smiled back. The legend claimed that these trapped reflections were always looking for a chance to switch places with a real child to escape their glassy prison. They would mimic you, trick you, and wait for you to let your guard down. Back in the flickering bathroom, the reflection's smile was now a wide, unnerving grin. It slowly raised a hand, pressing its palm flat against the inside of the mirror, as if trying to push through the glass. The whisper grew louder, clearer.
Alex could almost make out words, but they were twisted and strange.
Alex stumbled backward, away from the sink,
eyes locked on the horrifying figure in the mirror that looked just like them but wasn't. As Alex took another step back,
a sharp cracking sound split the air. A thin spiderweb-like crack appeared on the mirror's surface, starting right where the reflection's hand was pressed. The whisper suddenly became crystal clear. It spoke.
One word.
Alex.
That was it. Pure terror took over. Alex spun around
And
ran out of the bathroom, down the dark hallway, and didn't stop until diving headfirst into bed, pulling the covers up over their head. Huddled in the dark, heart pounding like a drum, Alex squeezed their eyes shut, trying to block out the image of that smiling face and the sound of their own name whispered from the glass. It felt like hours passed before the fear finally gave way to an exhausted, uneasy sleep. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the bedroom window. The house was filled with the familiar sounds of a new, deep clatter of dishes from the kitchen, the low murmur of the TV. It all felt so normal, so safe.
Alex cautiously got out of bed, remembering the night's terror.
Was it all just a bad dream?
With a deep breath, Alex walked down the hallway.
The bathroom door was still open. The mirror was just a mirror. The crack was gone. The morning light bounced off its surface, making it look bright and ordinary.
Feeling a bit silly, Alex walked past the doorway on the way to the kitchen.
But just for a split second, out of the corner of their eye, Alex caught a glimpse of their reflection. And for that tiny, fleeting moment, it smiled. So, a little piece of advice from all of us here at Spooky Kids World tonight.
When you brush your teeth,
And look into the mirror. Remember Alex's story.
Be careful, be brave, and whatever you do, never, ever smile back at your reflection at night. Thanks for joining our spooky adventure. If you liked this story, give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment with your own spooky mirror experiences. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next tale. We've got something extra mysterious planned for you. See you next time on Spooky Kids World.